For crying out loud. How's everybody doing? It's time to talk the moon spinners. And just kind of waiting for things to get started. Watt Adventures, Julius Green joined. Elmer, he's here. And we got Alexander, Miss Snotty, and just waiting for Jared to get on. Got 26 here already. Wow. Thanks for joining, everybody. Gonna try to get Jared in. I'm gonna let Jared right now, and we're gonna talk about the moon spinners. I think I let you in, Jared. Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, he's
Hey,
there.
how's it going?
Going great. How are
Nice.
you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. Let's do a quick mic check. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Can everybody online hear us okay? Just give us a quick thumbs up or something if we're not coming in clear. I think we got a lot of people on. Chris is on. Elmer is in. And well, it's good to be back.
It
It's
is
good to be back. So how are you doing, Jared? What's been going on
oof,
lately with you?
just working. That's it. That's basically it. No, I mean I guess when was the last time we did this?
It was probably September.
Oh wow. Well,
Yeah.
I between then I celebrated Christmas and Halloween
Okay.
and Thanksgiving.
I did all that too.
And then actually since September we actually shot an entire season and have almost finished editing the entire season of Tough as Nails.
Wow. Of Tough as Nails.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
If you guys didn't know, Jared is a producer on that CBS reality show. And well, I was deployed for 6 months, so I'm in the military. So that's kind of what we do from time to time. So, real quick, I noticed that MD Snotty watches Moon Spinners every year on Hayley's birthday. That's awesome. And TB Asner Art, yes, we talked about the Nomobile. Guy, when was that? September,
it's been a while.
August?
I mean, we did talk about the Nomobile because that's my favorite of the older classic Disney films from the Walt era.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So we welcome all the questions. We'll try our best to it scrolls pretty quick, and if we don't see it, just please type it in again. Um, Chris, our podcast co-host, Jiminy Crickets, he's online as well, so he'll chime in and repeat some questions if we miss them. But let's just try to keep the questions to Haley Mills and the Moon Spinners. We want to try to keep things positive. We don't want to talk about anything crazy that's going on in the Disney company these days. There's a lot of that, and so we're kind of a space where everybody can come and talk about Walt Disney era Disney. So
For sure.
that's kind of what Jared and I like to focus on. Now we'll lean a little bit into the 70s and 80s, but for the most part, it's like not current Disney films. So we're not going to comment on any of that stuff. So
Well, because my favorite, when people ask me what movies I like, I always say that my favorite genre of movies is the live action Disney films from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I should include 80s because I love like Return to Oz and stuff like that, but
mhm.
it's mainly the 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
Moon Spinners prime, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that this is like right in the prime of Disney live action. I mean, it started getting really good with like the Shaggy Dog and the late 50s. Of course, not to discount Treasure Island or any of the other earlier
right.
films, but Moon Spinners was 1964. I mean, 64 was the year Mary Poppins came out, and like lots of great stuff was coming out. this time. So people are asking like, what's the moon spinner? So let's just hop right in. What kind of goodies? Let's show off our goodies because that's what we do to
Well,
start. So let's see what do you got, Jared?
I have the same old. Well, I have the VHS from the 80s, and then of course the Beta, and then the Laserdisc. And honestly, this is my favorite cover art for moon spinners. Hayley Mills looks great in it. It's an interesting piece. If you look at the cover for the VHS, it's such an odd scene to put on the front cover to promote this film. You know what I mean? Like
it's like when Stratos catches Nikki after the church. That's crazy.
Seltzer.
Yeah.
And then, the DVD, of course. And then this, I actually found, I don't think there was ever an official CD release of the Moon Spinner soundtrack, but I found this at Amoeba Records in Hollywood.
I love that store. I know exactly. Well, it moved, but yeah.
Moved to Hollywood Boulevard, but but it was on the, they had like CDs, and then underneath they have a bunch of clearance CDs. And so I was looking through the soundtracks, and it was $1.99.
Wow, you ventured down below the stacks. You must have had some serious time.
Yeah, so I couldn't believe it. $1.99.
That's great. I mean, I wish I paid $1.99 for my. But I have the album. So, were you done?
I'm done.
That was okay. So what I have is I've got the Buena Vista album, and that's pretty much the same as your CD. And I think I paid like $10 for this.
Still, that's right.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a nice album. And then I've got the DVD, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the book, The Moon Spinners by Mary Stewart. Check out that windmill art on the front. I love that. We're going to talk a lot about windmills today.
We will.
So the Moon Spinners was based, the film was based on the book by Mary Stewart, which I read last summer. It was interesting. The movie is very different. But and then I've got a lobby card set. So lobby cards, if you don't know, are kind of like still picture previews of the film. And the Disney studios would mail out a set of lobby cards to the theaters. In this case, it was a set of 9. And the theaters would post these in a lobby card case in the lobby, obviously, to kind of give a pictorial trailer or preview to the film. So as we go through the movie today, I'll show you each one of these 9 lobby cards so you can get a good visual. In past, we've had like the storyteller albums.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Moon Spinners doesn't have one of those. This is it.
I feel like the Moon Spinners, it was Hayley's 5th film with Disney, and it was a big budget, and I just don't know if they had it's a hard one to have extra promotional material for. It's
right.
What I mean, like there's not going to be plush, there's not going to be toys kind of stuff, and it wasn't like
you mean no toy Madame Habib pet cheetah Shalimar plushes?
No.
Yeah, you're right. The promotional items were kind of weak. There was a lot of publicity for this film, though, back in the day, back in the early 60s, 63 when it was being made, and it came out in 64 early on.
Yep.
But I want to read the back of this LP, but before I do that, I'm going to kind of go back and see some of the comments. A lot of people comment on the pictures, the artwork, the goodies that we shared.
I'm having a hard time. I can't scroll the comments, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take care of it for you. Yeah, my nephew Jacoby is in the chat, so it's good to see you, Jacoby. Hope you enjoy the show. for as long as you can stay on. I know it's like close to your bedtime, buddy. Ryan is in, and then iWorks perfected the technology to do the stills for lobby cards. That's interesting. And
Could be wrong, but isn't iWork's birthday today?
it is. Yeah. Happy birthday, Oob.
What's oob with that? What's up with that? If everybody doesn't know, I enjoy a good pun. So, well, I enjoy a bad pun too. So,
Yeah.
beware.
That was a good one. I'm down with that. So, all right. So I'm going to turn this over and just give you a little quick synopsis of the movie. Look at this, the back of the album here.
So dramatic. Look at the
Yep.
look.
There's Hayley Mills and Peter McHenry, and there's the windmill scene. I think, is that Hayley on there or Alexis? I can't tell.
If it's just dangling, it's Hayley.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, she had a little bit of trouble. And then there is Eli Wallach, who played Stratos in the film, and Pola Negri, who played Madame Habib, we'll talk a little bit about. But real quick here, Nikki Ferris, Hayley Mills, runs into two kinds of romance, love plus a fabulous adventure when she visits the storied island of Crete with her musicologist aunt, Joan Greenwood. The elder Miss Ferris is hunting down a legendary tune called the Moon Spinners. The pair are given a cold and ominous reception by Stratos, a mysterious, violent man whose sister, Irene Pappas, operates the Moon Spinners Hotel on the Bay of Dolphins. Nikki meets and falls in love with Mark Camford, a handsome young Englishman who has come to seek out the thug who in London robbed him of priceless jewels he had been charged with keeping safe, ruining Camford's reputation for honesty. When Mark fails to keep a swimming date with Nikki, she finds and follows a trail of blood. It leads her to the crypt of an ancient church and to Mark, who has been shot. Nikki binds up the wound, then returns to the hotel for clothes and food. Stratos intercepts her, tricks her into giving her mission away, and imprisons her in the loft of an ancient windmill, intending to kill her after finding and disposing of the injured Camford. But Camford fights his way to Nikki's rescue, and together they make their way to San Nicolas, and the British consul, Anthony Gamble, wink wink, Gamble proves to be a phony, spoiler, and a co-conspirator of Stratos in a further series of adventures. Both Nikki and Mark make their way aboard the huge yacht of a wealthy but unscrupulous jewel fancier, Madame Habib, played by Pola Negri, who has been set up as a fence for the jewels that Stratos had indeed taken from Camford. In a climactic struggle aboard the ship, with a cheetah taking part, Camford recovers the priceless loot and wins Nikki. The end. All right. Any questions?
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay. There will be spoilers, but the movie is what, 56 years old, 58 years old. So,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you
yeah.
can watch this on Disney Plus. So
Yes,
Disney Plus
it is. Right.
and it's in HD and it's in the widescreen format. The DVD is full screen, so it's not as.
Yeah, I noticed that as I rewatched it. I watched the DVD and the Disney Plus, and you get a little bit of better aspect ratio on Disney Plus.
Sure.
Yep. Totally true. So what we're going to do is Jared, he's going to take over, talk a little bit about the director, the producer, and the cast, and I'll chime in and fill in the blanks a little bit. Then we'll talk about the music and a few film facts, and then we'll get into the plot. And, Elmer said he watched it on Disney Plus today, so he's going to be really fresh. And Ryan is a good friend of mine who I just met in person at the Met Museum last month. We saw the French Disney exhibit at the Met Museum in New York City. That was fun. Yeah, so he's in. So take it away, Jared. Take it away with the cast.
So yeah, we'll start with the director. So the director of this film was James Nielsen, and he actually had a pretty decent run at Disney. He started. Okay, so I know that Chris is not the biggest fan of this film, his first Disney film, theatrical film, but he directed the movie Moon Pilot.
That's right.
He did,
That's Chris's favorite.
uh, Moon Pilot, he did the next in 62. He also in 62 did Bon Voyage. And then one of my favorites, Summer Magic, in 1963. He also directed Dr. Sin, alias the Scarecrow, in 1963. And then he did Moon Spinners in 64. And his last feature at Disney was The Adventures of Bullwhip Griffin. And, you know, he did a bunch of Wonderful World of Disney stuff. He did Texas John Slaughter, a couple episodes of Zorro, The Moon Cussers, the very, very good Johnny Shiloh. So if you've never seen Johnny Shiloh, watch that.
Yeah, he did a lot of Wonderful World of Color or the Disneyland anthology.
Yeah, totally.
Stuff, yep.
And The Legend of Dick Turpin. And then the one he did, so I wrote this down too. He directed a movie. It's Hayley Mills adjacent. It's a non-Disney film called Where Angels Go, Trouble Follows, which is a sequel to The Trouble with Angels.
Oh, he did the sequel.
Yes.
But that did not star Hayley Mills, right?
The sequel did not star Hayley Mills. The original did star Hayley Mills, but it was also not Disney, The Trouble with Angels.
Right. That's right.
So what I noticed with this whole list is so many different kinds of films. Like he did stuff like The Mooncussers and Johnny Shiloh, war stuff, and then he did adventure mysteries with the Moon Spinners, and yet this really fantastic slice of life musical with Summer Magic. So, and then the goofy comedy Bullwhip Griffin. Like, I just feel like he was able to direct all sorts of different kinds of films for Disney.
Yeah, it kind of ran the gamut. Yeah, interesting.
I
like what Elmer said. He directed all the Moon films.
He did. Oh yeah, Moon Cussers, Moon Pilot.
Moon. Yep. So if you're at a Disney trivia contest and they ask you who directed all the Moon films, thank Jared for his research.
There you go. And who commented it?
That was Elmer.
And thank Elmer for pointing that out.
Yeah. Great. That's great.
There were 3 producers on the film. One of them was Walt Disney, so I'm not going to go over everything that Walt Disney was affiliated with Walt Disney.
We got time. No.
But Bill Anderson was a producer on it. And his first job at Disney was actually the production manager on Westward Ho! The Wagons. And then after that, he was a producer or an associate producer on all sorts of different films. If you want, I can list them.
I've got a few listed here. Like I'll just list a couple.
Yeah.
Old Yeller, Swiss Family Robinson. Did a lot of Zorro episodes. The Happiest Millionaire, The Apple Dumpling Gang. So, yeah. Way more than that, though.
Yeah, I mean, one and only genuine original family band, which we talked about in a previous.
Yeah, Chris will get mad at you if you don't say genuine.
Will he genuine about it if we don't?
Yeah.
See, there's another pun.
He'll genuince if you say it wrong.
And, you know, not all of them were winners. Like, he did do Super Dad.
Oh, no one's perfect.
But no one's perfect, yeah. But he also did like Swiss Family Robinson and The Third Man on the Mountain, which I loved. The Third Man on the Mountain. And so I want to list a couple other ones only because I want to list the ones that the other producer did, and then I have a little comment about it. He did Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, $1 Million Duck, you know, Shaggy DA, Savage Sam and Moon Pilot as well. Then the other producer is actually called, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Hugh Atwool.
Okay. I'm not familiar with his name,
but you're not familiar with his name, but I'm sure you're familiar with his movies that he produced, starting with Kidnapped, Greyfriars Bobby, Prince and the Pauper, In Search of the Castaways, 3 Lives of Thomasina, Fighting Prince of Donegal, Guns in the Heather, One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing, Candle Shoe, Watcher in the Woods, Condor Man. And Condor Man was his last one. And then there was, of course, several others in between. But what I noticed, the difference between these two is I feel like Bill Anderson produced a lot of American set films for Disney with Family Band, Happiest Millionaire, all of that kind of stuff, Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, where Hugh had a lot of European films, Greyfriars Bobby.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I noticed that trend when you were...
As a Thomasina. So even Candle Shoe. So then it was a nice blend that they both did the Moon Spinners. I found that to be interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
So those are the producers. It was also written by a man named Michael Dine. The only thing, like, he wrote a bunch of television, and the only film he wrote was for Disney was the Moon Spinners, which he didn't write, of course, the book. He just wrote the adaptation.
He wrote the screenplay?
The screenplay,
okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, well, he definitely had some mods to make, because if you read the book and watch the movie, you're kind of like watching two different things.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
Totally. Sorry, I was looking at a list, and also looking at these
no
lists of what the producers have. I am a producer in reality TV, and to have these, I would love to have these titles on my resume.
All these great credits. Yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So let's go on to the cast. It was actually not a giant cast, and also one thing I noticed was this cast did not really do a whole lot of Disney.
That's right.
Outside of the Moon Spinners. The titles that we've talked about before, we did The Parent Trap, we did One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, we did The No-Mobile, and we did one other one that I forgot.
Blackbeard's Ghost, I think, was the last one we did.
And I feel like a lot of those actors, even like the smaller parts, had giant Disney resumes, and these people do not. So I will go for, the biggest one is Hayley Mills, and even her Disney resume is not gigantic as far as production she was in, So I know Hayley Mills plays a character named Nikki Ferris. And for Disney, there's the 6, I'm going to coin like the 6 sovereign Disney films.
Right. They're all winners.
Pollyanna, one every year for 6 years. She did Pollyanna in 1960, The Parent Trap in 61, In Search of the Castaway 62, Summer Magic 63, The Penultimate Moon Spinners in 1964, and then she ended her Disney theatrical career with That Darn Cat in 1965. And then for Wonderful World of Disney or the Disney Anthology, or I'm just going to include like Disney Sunday Night Movie or Disney Channel that Hayley Mills did. She also did a movie in 1989 called Back Home, which I actually have not seen. And
I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I have not seen that one. And then she did the Parent Trap sequels, Parent Trap 2 in 1986, and then 3 and 4 in 1989. And one thing I will notice, so in Parent Trap 2, this is a little tidbit of information. In Parent Trap 2, she had a daughter, and the daughter's name in the movie was called Nikki Ferris.
Really?
Yes, but it was Nikki, and Hayley Mills' character, Moon Spinners, was Nikki Ferris, Nikky. So I found that to be quite interesting.
That is interesting.
So Hayley Mills, we're going to go over the storyline. So the next biggest actor, I would say, would be Eli Wallach, who played Stratos. And he was only in one Disney film. I think he started in a lot of Westerns.
Right.
He was in like How the West Was Won, Magnificent Seven, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. But his first Disney film was Moon Spinners in '64. And then the only other films that he did that were Disney with the Disney company was a movie called Too Much with Antonio Banderas in 1995 by Touchstone Pictures, The Associate with Whoopi Goldberg in '96 by Hollywood Pictures, and then Keeping the Faith with Ben Stiller in 2000 Touchstone Pictures. So he didn't really do a whole lot of Disney, although Eli Wallach did a lot. He spanned a lot of his career. He was in a lot of films.
Yeah. I remember him as Arthur Abbott in The Holiday, the movie with Jack Black and Kate Winslet.
Yes.
Cameron Diaz. He's the old guy that's swimming in the pool with Kate Winslet. So he had a long career.
Peter McHenry. I'm so bad at pronouncing.
Yeah, Peter McHenry. You got it.
He played
right the first time. Yeah.
He played Mark, who ended up being Hayley's love interest. The only films he did for Disney was Moon Spinners, and then he was also the lead in The Fighting Prince of Donegal 2 years later in 1966.
Right.
Hayley traveled to Crete with her aunt, Frances, and her only film was Moon Spinners, her only Disney film. Watching this, I feel like, and I could be wrong because it's been a few months since I saw Happiest Millionaire, but I feel like she could be sisters with the mother on Happiest Millionaire.
Yeah, the mother. I can't recall her name at the moment, but someone in chat jump in and
Mother Biddle.
Yeah, Mother Biddle.
We'll just call her Mother Biddle. But I feel like the actresses were so, at least the accent for me, I don't know, and the way that they talked, I could see them as like sisters. Stavros, so Eli Wallace's wife, was played by Irene Papas. And
they're brother sister.
Oh, brother. Yeah. I'm sorry, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, brother sister. She the only Disney film was The Moon Spinners.
Right.
The island boy, Crete boy, Alexis, was played by Michael Davis. His only film was The Moon Spinners. His only Disney film. These are all, I've only really done Disney films for the most part.
That's cool. I can, with Joan Greenwood, it's interesting. She played in a film with Albert Finney and David Tomlinson. So there's a Disney connection. Best Picture of 1963 called Tom Jones. And then Irene Papas is fascinating because she was like, had already achieved international fame, played the title roles of Antigone and Electra in 61 and 62. So she was a well-known Greek actress at the time who was just almost objectified because she portrayed that really classic Greek goddess look, like the darker skin, thick eyebrows, long nose, just what everybody loves about the Greek female features. So
I feel like she was underused in this film.
Yeah, I agree. Greer Garson is Mother Biddle. Thanks, Elmer.
Yes, I just saw that. Yes, totally. And, people might think that I'm crazy for thinking that, but she just reminded me of it. Let's see. So there are three other actors that I'll point out. There's Mr. and Mrs. Gamble. So Mr. Gamble, John Lemessurier. I'm so bad with
that one's tough. John Lemessurier. Yeah, Lemessurier. But yeah.
His Disney affiliation movies were Moon Spinners, and then 13 years later in Unidentified Flying Oddball.
He was in that? Wow. Yes. I did not know that.
And then Sheila, what did you have any others for him?
No, I like to find Disney connections, and he was a defense lawyer in the Pink Panther with David Niven, Peter Sellers. So that was cool.
Oh, that's cool. Um, well, I do have a Disney connection kind of with Sheila Hancock then, who played Cynthia.
Okay, Cynthia Gamble.
She was in the Moon Spinners, and then in 1990, the Touchstone Pictures sequel, Three Men and a Little Lady. But the one non-Disney film that she did another movie with Hayley Mills called Take a Girl Like You in 1970, which
Okay, cool.
I've not seen that one. But from reading about it, it's basically, oh crap. I don't remember the name of the actor. He was in Condor Man. The main,
Michael Crawford.
yeah, Michael Crawford, and she is apparently this coming of age girl, who is saving herself, and he keeps trying to take her to bed, type thing.
Okay.
It's rated R, and Chris pointed out Joan Greenwood did the voiceover for the actress who played the villain Barbarella.
Yeah, we mentioned that on our Hayley Mills podcast. I remember that. I remember him talking about that. We all got a nice laugh. Go watch Barbarella sometime.
Okay, so
But don't come complaining to us that you saw something horrible.
correct, and it's not for children.
It's not. Nope.
And then the last actor was Paula Negri. You know, she played Madame Habib. She was a well-known silent film actress, and she was very successful with that. She retired maybe about 20 or so years before this came out, and Walt Disney personally asked her to be in the film. I believe one of the other producers was trying to get her to be in it, and she didn't actually say yes until Walt convinced her.
Yeah, that's how the story goes, right?
Yeah. And so she came back out of retirement to film The Moon Spinners, and this was her last film role ever and her only Disney film. And Jane Fonda was Barfarella, according to, and then said, "Sorry, LOL, Barbarella."
Yeah. M. Skaters said, I would have said yes to Walt too if he asked her to be in a film. Yeah, I'm with you.
I totally would too. So as far as like the cast goes, that's the cast, producer, writer, director. That's what I have for you. It was released theatrically on July 8th, 1964. Which I believe it was a Disney summer release. It was a box office bomb, unfortunately.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I mean,
Yeah.
Haley ended on a high though with the next year with That Darn Cat.
Yeah. I think we'll do That Darn Cat next time we do a Hayley Mills film. So I think we'll do all of them
I think
at
so.
some point. Yeah.
We definitely have to do Pollyanna, although that will be like a 4. I could talk forever about Pollyanna.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite Disney movie ever.
But that's a great one.
Yeah. So let's move on to the music. The soundtrack, the music was composed and conducted by Ron Grainer. And the song, the Moonspinner song, was composed by Terry Gilkyson. And I just want to do something fun with everybody here. Throw out some songs that you know. No Googling. Throw out some songs that Terry Gilkyson wrote. Here, and I'll turn the album over and talk about some of the songs that are on this album while you guys think about Terry Gilkyson composed Disney tunes. So on this album, we've got the Moonspinners theme, Two Romantic Strangers, I wonder who that could be, The Village Wedding, The Three Goddesses of Love, Nicola, Secret of the Bay of Dolphins, Stratos in Pursuit, Mystery of the Ruins, Lemons and Verbena, and Temple of the Stray Cats.
Lemons and Verbena is my favorite song.
And it's only 50 seconds. Yeah. No, Marianne doesn't count. Not Disney, right. Elmer got one, The Bare Necessities. That is often attributed by many fans, including Hayley Mills herself, in her own biography or autobiography, this book, she wrote that Bare Necessities was composed by the Sherman Brothers. Oh. But
We need the Price is Right loser horn.
yeah. Womp, 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 womp. But no, but I'm not going to hold Hayley Mills to that. That's not her fault. That's the editor's fault. So. Yeah, and I figured Chris and Elmer were going to chime in on all of them, like the Thomas O'Malley, the Alley Cat, the theme to Thomasina. And I wrote down a couple more here. The Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, the theme song to that, was like Terry Gilkyson composition. And Savage Sam and Me. I love that song. So
I love the Crow of Romney Marsh.
yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll do that one someday. That's a great great little mini series. But so that's the music, and we'll move on to the filming. So we kind of already talked about this a little bit, but it was done on location in Crete, and as well as some sound stages in England. And the in Greece, the team chose the town of Elunda, which in the film it's called Ios Georgios, but it was really the town of Elunda. And when they got there, this town was in bad shape. It was worn down by time and by World War II. And so the Disney production crew had to go in and pretty much rebuild the whole town. And this worked out good for the people. They hired many residents to help, so up to 100 workers. They had to ship in 100 tons of local stone, 23 tons of plaster, 25,000 feet of lumber, 500 gallons of whitewash, 200 gallons of paint, 2,000 sheets of plywood, and 1,000 cubic meters of sand, bamboo for the roofs, vines, exotic plants. And during all this construction, the Disney crew laid concrete roads, telephone lines, and even constructed 2 permanent buildings that are used in the film. One was the church, and the other was the hotel itself, the Moonspinners Inn. All for this movie. So go ahead.
I knew that about the church. I guess I must have missed that about the Moonspinners. That's interesting.
Well, yeah.
Well, the art direction, they hit it out of the park with that then.
Yeah. I love how they just came in and just totally built this town, and then when they left, it was all there for the residents to continue to use. A little bit more here. Shooting was supposed to take 3 weeks, but turned out to be 3 months because of all the construction and just the primitive environment there. And the second unit director, Arthur Vitarelli, said there was no water pressure anywhere. So they built a water tower so they could run washing machines. They also built furniture and beds and more. And it's no wonder that the people of Crete loved them so much. They brought jobs and plumbing to their town.
It's also no wonder that the budget was so big.
Yeah, huge budget, which is why it didn't make a lot of money. But so that was the filming, and then we're just going to kind of talk through the film a little bit here. Well, we did all of that in 30 minutes. Pretty good.
It's very good.
So we'll share some more fun facts about the film after we talk about that. But before we move on, everybody loves the Terry Gilkyson song. So remember that name. You know, he doesn't get as much notoriety or I wouldn't say respect is not the right word, but just the accolades that the Sherman Brothers get.
I would agree.
He did a lot of great songs.
He did.
And
he did, but if anybody owns the DVD of 3 Lives of Thomasina,
yep,
do not leave it on the main menu for a long time, otherwise it will.
Is it an earworm?
It's an earworm, but it's only like part of the song, and then it starts over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you want the whole song, let me know. And a lot of people were talking about the soundtrack to Moonspinners not being available on Apple Music anymore. I remember it used to be on there. It's not. Hit me a DM. We can work something out. Okay. There's another Moonspinners, Mooncussers, Moon Pilot, Moon Themes, all directed by James Nielsen. Yeah, that's cool that people are picking up on that. So let's talk about the movie. All right, and I'll show off my lobby cards here the best I can. I'll probably just hold my phone up here so we get the whole thing. So,
Well, can I ask a quick question before you start?
yeah.
What did you think about this movie? Did you like it, and how did you like it compared to, well, just compared to the other Haley ones?
I was going to save that like for the end. I was going to talk about where it ranked
Okay,
with respect to the other Haley Mills film, but
okay,
I liked it. I liked it because it's different and it's well. I'm going to mention that right now. So, real quick, the film opens with a real cool number. We talked about the Moon Spinners song, a very mystical, kind of sets the mood with
hmm
a very classic Greek melody. It draws you right in. I mean, the opening credits are gorgeous. I
oh yeah.
mean, it sets the stage for just a great film experience, I think.
Like I think that's what the title card on the actual film right there.
Yeah, you see the windmills, you see some activity in the ocean, like some fishing, you see some great landscapes, just gorgeous pastoral scenes of Crete,
Yep.
and just get you ready for the adventures and the mystery. This is a mystery film. It's a different kind of Haley Mills film, something that we're not used to in the States.
hmm
And yeah, Ryan, we'll rank all six. We'll do that right at the end. So be thinking about that, Jared.
Okay.
So very different for United States film goers, but not different for folks in the UK because they've already seen Haley Mills play in these kind of like Hitchcock-esque films. If you've seen her other UK films like Tiger Bay in 1959 was a very suspenseful kind of thriller. Yep, Disney Movies and Music Collector, combination of suspense, scenery, and action. Yep, that's exactly why I love this film. And another film she played in with Deborah Kerr called The Chalk Garden, which is like when you're watching that film, you're like, this is Haley? She's really, really evil in that.
Oh yeah.
Not evil, but she's just like mean spirited and just not the Pollyanna or the Parent Trap type Haley Mills. So
I have the blue one.
yeah, I have the Blu-ray too. Great movies. If you haven't seen Tiger Bay or The Chalk Garden or The Truth About Spring, which is a fun Haley Mills movie because it has a lot of Disney actors in it, like James MacArthur, David Tomlinson are in that. And so this kind of like maybe might explain why it flopped in the US because it wasn't the Haley Mills they were used to. But I loved it because you got to see a different side of Haley, you know. She's a terrific actress and I think this film was just at the right time. It was the right time of her career. And I'm glad that they just didn't do another kind of not a screwball comedy, but just not an all-out comedy. I mean, there's funny scenes,
Yes.
but
I also wonder too, like just looking at uh, that thing, the lobby card set that you're holding up right now, though, I'm wondering if Disney advertised it correctly. Because if you look at her in the hat, it's very goofy summer magic type thing. But then if you look at the
yeah,
picture of her in the yellow square, it's completely different.
yeah,
So what are they trying to go for?
I know. It is a little confusing. Here it's like the typical Haley we all know and love, so maybe that we're going to see that, but really, I mean, you see a little bit of her dancing kind of goofy in one of the opening scenes on the windmill, and then this kind of really is what the movie's all about right here.
Yeah, I agree.
So the film opens up with Haley and Nikki, or I'll just use their names in the film, Nikki and Francis. They're on a bus and they're bound for the small town of Ios Georgios, and they're English tourists that are spending their summer holiday touring Greece. And Aunt Frances here, she's got a purpose, right? She's there to collect folk songs from the island. Nikki, on the other hand, is just kind of there to accompany her aunt, but really she's all out for the mystery, the intrigue, and hopefully a little bit of romance. And that's kind of something that I think Hayley Mills fans were wanting to experience. Maybe not in this kind of movie, but she really hasn't had a full-on romance or a romantic relationship or even a kiss up to this point. So,
Right. We teased it a little bit in Summer Magic, but
yeah, and in Search of the Castaways a little bit.
yeah.
Her aunt couldn't be any more oblivious. Yeah, she is a little bit of aloof throughout the film.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. That's right. But she was there for the BBC collecting songs. So once they get into town, they try to take up lodging in an inn called the Moon Spinners, which is named after an old folk song about three women who spin silvery thread into a bright moon that has the power to illuminate treasures at the bottom of the sea. So that's what that's all about. And conveniently, they arrive during this huge wedding celebration that's taking place at the inn. And there we meet the owners, Sophia and Stratos, played by Irene Pappas and Eli Wallach. And at first, they're like, we didn't get your telegram for the reservation. But Sophia's son, Alexis, played by Michael Davis, he's like, come on, Mom, they came all this way, you know, we got to give them a room. So Sophia reluctantly offers them a room, which is an odd, it's like, at first Stratos is like, they can't stay here. And then Alexis is like, please. And then Sophia's like, oh, okay, we'll give them the best room in the place.
And they also were not very subtle at all in the fact that they didn't want them to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Tourist worst nightmare, M. Skater says. I know. Can you think about it. They traveled from Athens to Heraklion and took a bus from Heraklion, which is about a 2-hour bus ride, not knowing whether or not they had a reservation at a hotel. Can you imagine traveling like that today? Going to Disney World and not knowing you had a reservation, that you were just going to take care of it when you arrived?
Why didn't they just use the Moon Spinners app?
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe they couldn't download it on that bus ride. No Wi-Fi. So clearly Stratos is not pleased with the prospect of two strangers staying at the inn at this particular time. Ooh, and it becomes clear to Nikki and Francis and to us, the audience, that there's something fishy going on. Fishy as in the fish on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So that same evening, so they get the room, they're settling in, and then they go downstairs, and then Nikki discovers her romantic partner for the film. And it's a young Englishman named Mark Camford, played by Peter McHenry, and it's like she's pretty quick to fall in love here, which is funny because it's exactly the way she is in real life. If you've read her autobiography, she is just falling in and out of love all during her adolescent years, and it's like really like love at first sight, like all these guys she meets. And so that's the case here. Obviously head over heels for him, and they end up meeting him during the wedding celebration and enjoy a nice little dinner out on the patio amidst the festivities. And it seems that Nikki and Mark hit it off, which is, like I said, exciting for Hayley Mills fans because we're finally going to see a romance and maybe a little smooching later. So, so the two agree to a swimming date the next day. However, dun dun dun, Mark doesn't show up.
Oh no!
Yeah, so she's like, Sophia, where's Mark? And she tells her that, well, he left town on a bus. Stratos had the same story. And Nikki's like, well, that's kind of suspicious because just the previous night she had caught Stratos sneaking around his room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like taking all of his stuff out of there, like he checked out. But the audience knows, not Nikki, that after the wedding celebration, Stratos and his like sidekick Lambus, played by Paul Stacino, we didn't talk about him, but they set a trap for Mark at a place known as the Bay of Dolphins, the same spot where he was going to go swimming with Nikki the next day, and they shot him. And that's why Mark is missing. So we know that. And Hayley is like going to discover that here shortly. So Nikki's kind of like, oh, my date, what am I going to do? So she decides to like go investigate, walks to the beach, finds a shoe, and then she kind of stumbles across this old church. And while she's inside looking around, she discovers this trail of blood that leads downstairs to like the crypt. You know, that little spooky under basement of old churches. And there she finds Mark, who's in obvious pain because he's shot. And so now Nikki's like, yeah, my suspicion of Stratos has been confirmed. He's probably the one that shot Mark. And she asks Mark if it was Stratos that shot him. And Mark is in too much pain to really talk about the details of this mystery to Nikki and to the audience. So we have to all wait for further info, and that frustrates her. And this is what really kind of makes the film fun for me. You know, it adds that Hitchcock-esque air to the movie because for the most part, we're experiencing everything as Nikki does. We're all Nikki Ferrises, just like, what is going on? But I like it. It makes for a different kind of Disney film. Don't have a lot of mystery thrillers in the Disney canon. Not till you get to Watcher in the Woods.
Right. Right. Which this one is better than Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah. Still a good movie though. So Nikki goes back to the inn because Mark says like, go get me some stuff, go get me some brandy, some medical supplies, and patch him up. So she goes all the way back to the Moon Spinners Inn and tries to evade her from being seen, right, by her aunt, from all the activities that are going on.
The activity.
Yeah. So when she gets back, this is a fun scene where we see Frances doing what she's supposed to be doing. That's like recording the villagers singing some of the songs they actually sang at the wedding last night. And there's one funny scene where there's this like old grandma lady. She's like clapping to the music, and she's got a view of the bar, but Hayley's kind of hiding behind it, trying to swipe that bottle of brandy, and it looks like the bottle of brandy is moving by itself. So there's a little comic relief.
Yeah, the old lady is just so confused, but she's like, oh, should I keep clapping? But what's going on?
I think she's probably thinking like, maybe I had way too much to drink at this wedding celebration last night. Like, is she in there somewhere? She's like, I think maybe she's back there passed out on the ground from drinking too much Greek wine. You know, like people do at Greek festivals.
It's so funny.
So that's a nice little comic relief. There's a nice picture of Eli Wallach there and Irene Pappas. I love this picture because you get a nice profile of her.
Oh, yeah.
She's just a gorgeous lady.
She was so, that's okay. Well, we can talk about it later. I just feel like she was so underused.
Yeah. But I agree. Which is a shame because she's just absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that's Antigone or Electra, right? All of you Greek theater folks.
Yeah, I know nothing about Greek theater. Sorry. But I got your fish pun, so.
I bet Chris played, he was probably in some Greek tragedies. Were you ever in Antigone or Electra, Chris, in high school or college? Those are popular plays back in for college kids to be in. So, yeah. Eli is a scary dude. These are guns. I'm going to use them to shoot quail.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Oof, aunt.
Yep. Quail stuffed with mushrooms and thyme. Sounds good, actually.
It does.
All right. Well, where were we? Oh, she's going back. Okay, she's trying to get the brandy. The grandma thinks she's drunk. And I'm just kind of looking at my notes here, and I totally lost my spot. Oh, here we go. Nikki gets the stuff. She goes back to Mark, kind of tends to his wound, and then Mark sends her on her way, without any further explanation about why Stratos tried to shoot him or anything. So she's just like, I guess I'm going back to the hotel. Unfortunately, she runs into Stratos, who's already suspicious that Nikki is attending to Mark because he found out from Frances that she had taken the first aid kit. So he's like, uh-oh. So she finds Nikki and catches her with the first aid supplies and is immediately fearful that Mark has told her of his sinister plans. And we're like, what plans? What is going on? So we still have no idea what's going on. Well, anyways, he ties her up and walks her at the top of one of those windmill towers. So that's fun for the plot because we're going to kind of see what happens there. We don't see that actually take place in the film, but it's understood later that that's what happened, right? So he's going to lock her up there and probably try to kill her later. So anyways, Mark leaves the church and meets Alexis in the hills, and he asks Alexis to make sure Nikki and Aunt Frances leave the town at once for their own protection. So
I'll be your friend. Be your friend if you do that.
Yeah, I'll still be your friend. For crying out loud.
For crying loud out.
For crying loud out. Oh, I like this picture. This is not in the film. This is probably what their swim date would have looked like. So this is one of those rare lobby cards that don't depict the scene in the film, or maybe it was it was cut from the film. Chris said he did comedies and musicals, so he didn't do any Greek tragedies. The sweater, M Skaters, what's going on with the sweater? The sweater, oh, Eli's sweater? No, Irene's sweater? Somebody's sweater.
Oh.
I can't remember what. But anyways, Stratos' wife looks very familiar. Oh, his sister in the film, Irene Pappas, was she in Guns of Navarone? Maybe.
She was. Yes, she was.
I think that would. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I did see that on her list. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to have to check that out. Too bad the DVD doesn't have any deleted scenes. Amen.
The DVD is so bare bones, full screen.
Yeah.
No special features, no widescreen. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, the sweater is the pink one that she gave Mark to keep him warm. The one he's like, I look good in pink with blood all over me. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thanks for clearing that up. So, all right, back to the plot, and we're talking about Alexis and Mark. Mark is making sure Alexis gets Aunt Frances and Nikki out of town. And so as Alexis is going back to the town, he passes the windmills and he hears Nikki screaming from one of them. And Alexis goes back to Mark for help. And in what is probably one of the most thrilling Disney scenes, action-packed scenes, we see Alexis just like, whee! He just jumps on the sail.
Well, they do that all the time.
Yeah, he said they do it for fun, right? I've never fallen. And I think I do have a picture. There's where Stratos gets, confronts Nikki right outside the church. Where are you going with that first aid kit? I'm collecting rocks. I didn't find any rocks. But there was this old shepherd man with a broken leg, and I fixed it, and then he walked away.
He walked away with a broken leg? Well, maybe broken.
You're a horrible liar. So, more windmill scene. Yeah, everybody's chiming in on the windmill scene. It's just great. Well, there's Hayley. So before this happens, we see Alexis just grab onto one of the spokes. And he's just like, goes all the way up, real nonchalant like, and like grabs onto this. He grabs onto this little thing, I guess, where they hang stuff out of there, or flour bags, or I don't know whatever they do, grind. It looks like there's a grindstone inside there, right? So they're grinding
Hmm.
wheat or grain into flour, possibly.
Well, I have a quick question. Why couldn't they go down the stairs? Did they say that?
Because the door was locked
Yeah, but did they?
from the inside. I don't know. Yeah. So Alexis grabs onto this, flings himself into the window, unties Hayley, and they're going out. And Hayley makes for those stairs, and I think Alexis is like, no, we don't need to go down the stairs and unlock the door from the inside and walk out. We got to do it the fun way, like me and the rest of the kids on Crete do.
There are literally cameras watching us, so we got to make this.
Yeah, yeah. James Nielsen is like, dudes, hello, most exciting Disney thrilling scene ever. Let's make sure let's jump back onto the sails and ride them down to the ground and just like, whee, jump right off. Yeah, oh yeah.
MD's nodding. No, love. That's so good.
No time, make love. We gotta go.
Thanks for saving me, Alexis. I'm going to give you a hug. No time, make love.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Thanks for pointing that out. That's another one of a classic Alexis-ism that this movie's kind of full of. Whenever he's on camera, he always says something cute. All right, so he's like, I think does like the 10-point version of like getting out of there on the windmill. Hayley, on the other hand, she kind of like does this trick where she first grabs onto that and then reaches for the sail. And Mark is all the, he's just kind of cheering her on from the ground. Mark actually tried to jump onto one of the sails, but he couldn't do it because, hello, he's got like one arm because his other arm got shot. And so Hayley eventually climbs on, and we just see her rotating around like 17 times before she gets the guts to like kind of scooch herself to the outermost part of the
graceful exit.
Yeah, not graceful at all. Like, case in point, there she is.
Grabs the wrong one, then she jumps and gets the sail, then she rips it, then she's flailing around and lands on top of Mark. With a
yeah, I mean, like, and she breaks one of these windmills. So what does that do for the people of Crete after they're all gone? They've got one defunct windmill in the bunch. Thanks, Hayley.
Disappointed, Nikki.
Yeah. So now the movie starts to get really crazy. If it hasn't already. So Nikki and Mark, they flee to some ruins on the outskirts of a nearby town called Ios Nikolos. And in the meantime, I meant to delete that. During the night in the ruins and among some really scary cats.
Oh, yeah.
And the cats, Chris will chime in on the cats, I'm sure, because they have another Disney tie-in that Chris noticed.
That stairwell actually reminded me of 3 Lives of Thomasina.
Oh, the cats?
Yeah, and when he like with the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, those cats are really scary, and apparently they all hide out in the ruins because Cretans think cats are bad luck.
And apparently Mark and Nikki sleep like rocks.
Yeah, they slept pretty good. Oh, I know. Like Hayley had a nice soft shoulder for Mark to sleep on. So, that was nice. But before they fall asleep, we finally get to hear what's going on. So Mark finally, amongst these ruins and some scary meowing cats and the threat of Stratos, killing him at any moment, apparently they felt safe enough to where Mark just lets loose and says, well, when I was in London, I was fired from a bank. I was accused of stealing a rare emerald necklace that really all I was trying to do was go get it from the bank and take it to the owner. But in this process, he claims he was attacked by Stratos, and who was also in London at the time. So Stratos is the one that attacked him, stole the jewels, and hid them underwater in the Bay of Dolphins. And then came, and so Mark traveled to Crete, kind of trailing Stratos the whole time in hopes of getting proof that Stratos stole them, so he could clear his name. Because not only did he get fired from the bank, but his whole reputation, was damaged because of this. So there's Mark and Nikki.
What?
Okay, we'll leave that one on up there for a while. So that's the whole deal. So he's there to kind of find out what Stratos is going to do with these diamonds, and just hope to try to get them back so he can clear his name. So they fall asleep. The next morning, they are discovered by the, quote, British consul, Anthony Gamble, played by John Le Mesurier. And he offers to take them back to his home where his wife, Mrs. Gamble, played by Sheila Hancock. Now, both of these characters are like supremely British. Yep. Their accents are just like totally just, and they're just great British actors, actresses. It's just like, it just gives a real kind of exotic, it just provides a little bit more exoticism, is that a word? To the
I think so.
To the film.
She's actually,
I love these two characters.
Yeah, I do.
I absolutely love them. Yeah.
She's actually still alive and working today.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Sheila Hancock. Mm-hmm.
Sheila Hancock, yeah.
Yeah, what a great accent. She's just had that really fine British accent that I just love. She's a pretty lady too. So she's a nurse. Wow, how convenient. Plot twist, and Skater says. So she gives Mark, in quotes, penicillin, quotes, but informs Nikki that his wound is infected and they must go to Athens for proper treatment.
Oh, no.
By the way, do you know Maud Devices? I'm trying to write a letter to Maud Devices. It's horribly boring here. I have no friends. That scene where they're all eating lunch together. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Yeah. She's totally drunk.
She's so drunk. I want to know what the maid thinks of them. Or the servant who was feeding them.
Giving them their curried eggs.
Mm-hmm. I don't like curry.
I'm tired of eating curried eggs. I'm going to go lay down. Bring me some sherry. Her husband's like, just go give her some hot cocoa. Because basically at that lunch, she gives up the whole plot. Right? She talks about Madame Habib and the jewels sort of in a non-direct way, but enough to where Nikki is very suspicious, right? So it turns out Gamble and Stratos are in league, right?
Oh, well, also Gamble told Nikki that he would get her aunt there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Really not 100% clear on how the aunt got the message.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I think maybe Gamble and Nikki sent a telegram or phoned the moon spinners in, possibly. Not exactly sure, but we'll get to that. So blah blah blah, lunch, Gamble's, Madame Habib, the yacht, which is just offshore. I'm totally lost here in my thing. Okay, so the penicillin, the wound being infected, go to Athens. It's just a ploy, right? It's a plot to get rid of them. Because we learned the Gambles are in league with Stratos to sell the emeralds to the famed jewel collector, Madame Habib, played by Pola Negri, who we're going to talk about here shortly, whose yacht just happens to be offshore. So the Gambles are really eager to send Mark, Nikki, and now Aunt Frances, who just magically shows up at the Gambles. And so, like I said, yeah, I think Nikki connected with Alexis somehow, and the Gambles. Somehow Frances got word. And, this is probably like a huge relief for her, because Frances was like totally freaking out in mass hysterics, not knowing where Nikki was this whole time. she, and so uh, Gamble gets them all situated underway for a trip to the airport so they can catch a flight to Athens. And what is their method of transportation?
Mm.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It hurts to say it, but it's a hearse.
Francis is like, my word, what
It's
is this? A hearse? And Gamble's like, well, this is the only vehicle where we could get somebody, to lay flat. And this is just crazy town right now. they're going to the airport in a hearse, and it just happens to be a night of the biggest feast of Crete. It's the Feast of King Minos, a local carnival, and the streets are just packed with revelers. It's like, can you believe it? Like they arrive in Ios Georgios during this huge wedding, and they're trying to escape, and there's this huge festival going on. I mean, yeah, James Nielsen, you just hit this one right out of the park, buddy. Perfect. I mean, it's great. It's a great scene. It's fantastic. It's really colorful. Lots of, it's fun seeing those local customs, all that flair.
A
Those
lot
crazy.
of confetti gets thrown in Haley's mouth.
Oh, yeah. She's just covered in it. Yeah. She kept trying to spit it out and get ribbons off her shoulders and stuff.
And then they're like giant birds, like
Giant seahorses,
yeah,
octopi.
yeah.
So during the ride, Mark has a miraculous recovery, figuring Mrs. Gamble only drugged him and the infection was a hoax. That's how I can describe the whole thing, right?
Is that what? Maybe I was wrong. I thought that so before the aunt even got to town, he awoke and Haley or Nikki told him what was going on, and then he was kind of like piecing puzzles together, and then he wanted to get up and leave, and she's like, "No, you need to lay down." So I thought, am I wrong? I thought he was like faking it.
So M Skaters is killing me tonight. Her comments are on point. She's like, yeah, I'd freak out if I lost my niece in Greece. That totally explains why Francis was so hysterical. Where's my niece? I've been up and down the beach 3 times. And Stroud's like, go rest. I can't rest.
All I've eaten is quail.
All I need is quail. I need curried eggs at the Gambles. Okay.
I thought he was not fake. I thought he was faking it to get out, and then I don't know. I could be. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think so. Probably a combination of both. But all being said, she really drugged the guy, I think, and
yeah, for sure.
He wasn't really infected. There was no reason for them to go to Athens for like an immediate like surgery or whatever. But yeah, he was faking it, totally faking it, and that was a surprise to everybody, even Nikki. Frances. Well, Frances had no idea because she's stuck in the cab with the driver who can't. Like, dude, have you driven? Are you a driver? Like, he can't get through this parade. Come on.
The people were opening the door and trying to get her to come out of the truck.
Yeah, come dance with us. So they're in the back of this hearse. Mark is miraculously recovered, and Nikki, he's like, all right, I'm better. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go try to prevent this sale to Habib and go get Stratos. So he's gonna go back to the Moonspinners Inn. But Nikki, who still believes Mark needs medical attention, is 100% against the idea and insists he either go to the hospital or let her go with him. And Mark, at this point, cue the violin music and the googly eyes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Mark, and it's pretty touching. Mark thanks her for taking such great care of him. And Nikki replies, "Oh, I just don't want to see you get hurt." And then they kiss. It's a nice little moment. And I described it as like a perfectly passionate kiss before. And Nikki she's kind of dazed a little bit, a little Twitter-pated, I think, for a few moments. And then there you go, right? Hayley's first on-screen kiss in Crete in the middle of a local crazy festival in the back of a hearse. Just like she'd drawn it up.
You can't write this stuff.
I know. I know. Oh, googly eyes from M Skaters. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was cute. But once she comes to, she's like, I'm gonna go with you. So she tries to get out. She's she's like bombarded by confetti octopuses.
She has to leave a message first in lipstick on the window.
Oh yeah, she's like, gone back to Ios Georgios with, bye. You lost your niece in Greece again, Francis. So she loses Mark in the crowd, right? So she's just kind of like, oh man, where'd Mark go? Bummer. So she's kind of like sitting down. She notices the Minotaur out in the bay, which is Madame Habib's yacht, who we still haven't met yet, but we've heard her name a bunch and know she likes to collect jewelry. Oh yeah, the look on Hayley's face when she missed the bus. Yeah, it is priceless. It's just so cute. She's like just kind of despondent, just like a little, she's in despair. But so our sweet little innocent Nikki comes up with this plan. And what does she do? She swipes this little motorboat at the dock and chases down the yacht. It's classic. Like I guess I'd do the same thing, right? I love Mark. I want to help him. I'm going to steal a boat. Go save the day. So she flags down the captain at some point and gets permission to board. So like the captain comes in and tells Madame Habib, which we finally get to meet, and she allows her to come on board. So Nikki makes her way to Madame Habib's stateroom, and stepping aside from Madame Habib's pet cheetah, Shalimar, which is like, what's going on? And here we go. Here's Paula Negri, who played Madame Habib, great silent film actress.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great. People refer to this as a cameo, but this is more than that. It's really a great scene, and it's just thank you, Walt Disney, for getting her out of retirement and playing this scene so people can rediscover her, and those that didn't know about Paula Negri. I mean, she's got a great fan following. And I learned that she spent the remainder of her days in San Antonio here, where I live. So I'm going to go try to find out where she lived in town, see if there's any kind of...
Texas, I didn't realize it was San Antonio. That's cool.
Yeah. So I live where Paula Negri lived. Neener.
Oh, well, I live where Wed was.
Yeah. You live where everybody lives. So this is just one of my favorite scenes. This whole scene where Nikki explains to Madame Habib what's going on in the film, right? It's just a classic Hayley Mills kind of like very hurried and frantic, semi-coherent.
And Habib thinks she's Alice.
Yeah, I know, and she's the March Hare, right?
And she's the March Hare.
Yeah, it's just a crazy story. I just love this thing. She's like, Stratos found out about it, me knowing, and she shut me in the windmill. He was going to kill me, but Mark and Alexis got me out. And Madame Habib's like, who's Alexis? Oh, he's the boy from the village. He's got a donkey. Blah, blah, blah. And Madame Habib's head is spinning. She needs a drink, and she gives Hayley a drink because she needs one. She thinks she does, and she gives her something pretty strong because she's kind of tipsy.
I loved Hayley Mills tipsy in this.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's just so much fun.
I feel rather loft and softy.
Yeah, lofty, softy. We can't really do it justice by explaining every detail of this scene. It just has to be seen. So go watch it. It's so much fun.
Madame Habib is so extravagant in what, like, she has this yacht, and you can kind of see in this picture, like, who has a statue like that in a yacht? And like
Yeah.
every single part of that room, she has the cheetah who has its own circle couch, these
Hmm.
exquisite pieces of art and lamps and all of that kind of stuff, and then an entire walk-in bar. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and she's got that bar where it ends up being Nikki's hideout, right? Because meanwhile, while all this is going on with Madame Habib, Mark goes back to the Bay of Dolphins and confronts Stratos, and that's another great scene. That's just a great fight scene on a speeding motorboat, and poor Mark, he ends up kind of losing this little battle to Stratos. He knocks him into the water, and the last time we see Mark here for a while is Stratos throwing a harpoon into the water after he falls in. So we have no idea what happened to Mark. We know Stratos got away.
Well,
Uh, yep.
Alexis saw it, so he was able to let people know.
Yeah. Oh, and in the meantime, Stratos also fished out the diamonds or the emeralds from the bottom of the Bay of Dolphins. So that's where they were hidden the whole time. There's a scene of him pulling them up, and Mark sees this, and that's when that fight takes place. So Stratos kind of wins this first battle, and he races to the Minotaur to make the sail, basically. So he's on the boat. Hayley's locked in the bar cabinet, drunk, and somehow Aunt Frances and Alexis get Mark from the water, and they all converge on the yacht. Mark bursts into the stateroom, breaks up the sail. He kind of disables Stratos with this terrific punch. Just awesome. That was an awesome fight. Like they're fighting over this necklace. Madame Habib's freaking out because these emeralds are like 1,000 years of history, and they're fighting over it. It breaks into pieces, and she's just like, what's going on with these emeralds? The pet cheetah is like, this is the weird part. Why is the cheetah like hiding underneath his circle couch scared?
Well, I kind of liked that touch though, because normally the cheetah would be this, like it would be the one attacking,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's probably like, "What the crap is going on? This is not, like he is."
Yeah.
I enjoyed that little weird twist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I mean, it would be a pretty crappy way for people to die if the cheetah just like starts eating them.
It's true.
It would wreck the whole plot. So, he's been disabled fully, right? And the police arrive, and Madame Habib, kind of reluctantly cooperates with the police, and Mark ends up with the emeralds, and Aunt Frances jumps in, and she's like, has no idea what's going on. What is going on? Will someone explain to me? What is happening?
In her defense, she doesn't know what's going on since the beginning of the film.
Yeah, she's clueless. Yeah, she's completely oblivious to everything. She just, yeah, poor Aunt Frances. She's stuck in a hearse in a carnival. She has no idea what's going on the yacht, and she's just like, let's go eat dinner on the deck. And Madame Habib retreats to her bedroom with Shalimar and enjoys dinner in bed because she's so disappointed that she didn't get the emeralds. But and then they all gather up on the deck and wave goodbye to Alexis, and he's like, I'll prepare a big wedding for you guys when you come back. The end.
The end.
It's such an abrupt ending for such a drawn out film.
It,
It clocks in almost at 2 hours, and it's just, I don't mind the ending at all. I think it's fun.
I don't mind the ending either. I feel like Summer Magic had a more abrupt ending than this one.
Good point. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know really how else they could have ended. I don't think it would have been appropriate to show like a whole marriage scene at the Moonspinner's Inn again. I think it ended it ended nicely, rather abrupt, but it was perfectly fine for me.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's it. That's Moonspinners. Hope we didn't give away too many spoilers. But go see it. Even though we explained it all, I'm sure it was mostly incoherent, our babblings.
I don't think of this as like Mystery Science Theater, but sometimes when we go through these movies, there are things that make me laugh.
Yeah.
Now, like, well, and you laugh, like silly Aunt Frances going on.
And when we do this, I discover things that were funny that I maybe didn't realize they were when I was watching the movie. So
How they were when they were at the wedding, and Mark is like, "Let's dance" or whatever, and then he say something like, "Let's break the rules" or something like that.
oh yeah, and they end up doing like the twist.
They do the twist.
Yeah. Hey,
Yep.
Chris is leaving. Good night, Chris. We're just going to go through some fun facts here and just some parting comments. But thanks for chiming in. I thought Chris was going to talk about the Cats because that soundtrack of the Cats.
Oh, he said he did. I'm sorry. I saw that comment.
Did he say that was part of the thrilling, chilling sounds of the Haunted Mansion soundtrack?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I missed it, but yeah, he pointed that out in the podcast too. So super job, Jared and Brian. Well, we're almost done. We got about 10 minutes, and we're gonna talk about some fun facts. Do you have any fun facts to share, Jared?
So, fun facts
that we haven't shared already.
You said that it was, 2 hours long, which it was, about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was released theatrically, it was also released with the short Yellowstone Cubs, and that short is 40 minutes long.
Oh my gosh, was it really?
Yeah.
Yellowstone? I love that. I love that show.
Yellowstone Cubs is great. But that would make the run, and if there are any trailers, almost 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, that was that's how it was back then. Yep. I mean, and you had a chance for a quick bathroom break between features, but now you've got to sit through a Marvel film for 3 hours and don't drink any soda.
Well, I don't know if a lot of our listeners know this, but I might, I hope I don't lose any listeners, but I don't really care at all about Marvel films.
I just liked you even more before. We're even more closer. We're even closer friends now than we ever were before.
I just don't care about them at all. They're all
yeah. We won't get into it. I'll just have one. I think Marvel's wrecking Disney. So, M Skaters unfollow.
She just followed me.
That's why I don't like talking about current Disney, because I start getting.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be angry. I do like some of the Marvel films, but
I do too. I actually like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Oh, and I saw the latest Spider-Man film, which was a lot of fun. Hilarious, actually.
Loved WandaVision.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. So, yeah.
Thing
I forgot your fun fact.
It was the fun fact was about the Yellowstone Cubs. And then, it was not supposed to be it was originally just supposed to be a domestic cat on the yacht, but Pola Negri suggested that it be changed to a cheetah.
Yeah, she wanted that.
She wanted
to wear real jewelry too, nothing fake.
So Walt was like, "Yep, let's do it. Let's do it all.
Whatever you want.
And
anything to get you in this movie."
And then this was actually the second to the last time Walt Disney was billed as a producer on a film during his lifetime.
Say that again.
This was the second to last time Walt Disney was billed as a producer on a film during his.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting. I don't know if it's necessarily.
Yeah.
And then, me personally, I think there should be a windmill ride at Disneyland.
Yeah. Can we get a ride based on another classic live action film? I think it would be great. The Moon Spinner's Windmill. And we can all try to jump on the sails, and then if we don't make it, well, bummer.
We'll start a cheer. Yeah, exactly.
You fall, that ends your day.
Oh my gosh.
I think I glitch there. I have 20% battery left, so we better
Oh
end
no.
this here soon.
Well,
So, real quick,
facts.
what's that?
That was all my fun facts.
Okay, I have a few. Uh, I think from Leonard Maltin, he mentioned that the film's main object of attention, besides the beautiful scenery of Crete, was a grown-up Hayley Mills. So I think she was 17, almost 18 when this was being filmed, and so she was ready for some more mature roles, and she's something of a man chaser in this movie. And I like what he said about the clothes she wore. He said that she was even capable of wearing a dress with some décolletage. And which is funny because in her book, this one, the Hayley Mills biography, she mentions that there was a scene at the dinner table outside the Moonspinners Inn where that had to be cut and reshot several times because Hayley showed too much cleavage. And she would just, the wardrobe lady would yell, "Cut!" And she'd run out to her several times and like thread wire along the top of her that pink sundress she was wearing. So
Yep.
it would like stay clamped to her body.
Wow.
So yeah, no décolletage for you, Miss Mills. Got to keep things G rated on the Disney side. Uh, Another interesting thing about the authenticity of the film, it's really a feast of sights and sounds. The wedding dance scene were very authentic, performed by dancers from the Lyceum of Greece, an institute dedicated to preserving Greek art and costumes. And many of the costumes they wore were over 300 years old.
Oh my.
Wow. And the carnival scene was created by Corcoro Ioannis, who was a very famous designer for very large carnivals in Greece. So that was all real. And my last fun fact is about the Minotaur. So they got a picture of the Minotaur before they flew out to Crete for production. And the picture they sent was great. Beautiful ship. The only bad thing was the photo was 40 years old. When they got there, it was basically a rust bucket. So they had to do a complete restoration on the ship, including a new propeller and shafts to make it seaworthy.
Price is Right horn again.
Yeah, I mean they probably got a good deal. I don't know. So that's all. That's all we have for the Moon Spinners. How does this rank?
So, do you want to hear my ranks of Hayley Mills movies?
Sure. 1 through 6. Yeah, we're gonna do it right now, Ryan. And I don't know, M Skaters, if her last she was contracted to do 6 films, 1 a year from 60 to 65. That's all. That's what I read in her biography, her autobiography. And I think That Darn Cat was always planned. Yeah, it would have been tragic if it was 5 because we would have missed her and Dean Jones. So
Yeah.
top 6. Yes, go ahead.
So this is just my opinion, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Please do not be mad, because
Don't be mad.
I absolutely love all 6 of these movies. It's just the order that I like them might be different than Brian's. And might
Start with number 6.
Number 6 would have to be In Search of the Castaways
Mm-hmm.
for me. And then number 5 would probably be The Moon Spinners.
I'm gonna end this right now.
I know.
No, that's fine.
It's
Go
just
ahead.
because these other movies are so great. All of her movies are great.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me would be That Darn Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, this one's hard. I would say tied for 2, but if I had to split it up, I would say number 3 would be The Parent Trap. And then the number 2 would be Summer Magic. There's something about that. There's something about Summer Magic that is so fascinating to me. How the movie, like, it's just a simple movie, and she's so great in it, and the music's
Hmm.
great, Burl Ives and all of that kind of stuff. I Summer Magic's just fantastic. And then nothing,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but nothing can ever top Pollyanna as far as Hayley Mills goes.
Yeah, our lists are pretty similar. Number six, In Search of the Castaways. Number five would be it's like my top 10 films, five of them are Haley Mills films. I can't, it's like really tough to even rank the top five for me
It's
because
hard, yeah.
I guess I have to, I'll rank them in terms of how often I watch them. So six would be In Search of the Castaways, five would be That Darn Cat, four, Summer Magic, three, Parent Trap, two, Moon Spinners, and one, Pollyanna. So I just love I watch Moon Spinners more often than I watch Summer Magic and The Parent Trap. But but I think I love Moon Spinners, Parent Trap, Summer Magic, That Darn Cat all equally.
Yeah, they're
I
all
mean,
good. They really, really are all good. So
oh Ryan, top 10 Disney live action films. I cannot rank animated films along with live action. I can't mix the two. I can't do it.
I can't either. And I would, for me,
Yep.
say I like the live action stuff better than the
Hmm.
animated, and I love the animated. It's just hard. Like,
Yeah, they're just completely different. I mean, the animated films are all works of art to me. The live action are all just brilliant
I love seeing,
theatrical production.
I love seeing everybody's rankings. It's all different, and
Yeah, it's so cool.
feel like I feel like a lot of people would probably agree with us, and of course,
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's just hard to pick these because they're all so good.
Yeah, most everybody's picking Parent Trap Pollyanna one and two, which is kind of like, yeah, I get it. Like I said, one through five are pretty equal for me. Well, two through five, because Pollyanna, hands down, is my favorite
Yeah,
Disney movie. It's like in my top 10 of all films.
Pollyanna's fantastic.
Yeah,
I,
I love it.
I recently got to go to the New Beverly and watch The Parent Trap on film.
Oh yeah, you did that with Celebration Disney, right?
Yeah,
Jim Miles, you guys went together.
and it was really great to watch it on film. It was actually Quentin
I bet.
Tarantino's personal copy, and they showed
Oh, I missed the name. I heard about this. What was the name of the person?
Quentin Tarantino,
Quentin. That's right. Yeah.
because he owns that theater, and it was his own personal copy of it. They also showed three trailers beforehand, original trailers. They did The Parent Trap. I'm sorry, they did three Haley Mills ones. They did That Darn Cat and Summer Magic, and then what was the? It might have. Oh, In Search of the Castaways.
Okay.
We got to see the trailer.
Which is
Wow.
which, that In Search of the Castaways and Summer Magic are the only two not on Disney Plus, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
They all should be on. I don't know why. If anybody knows why some of these great classic live action films aren't on Disney Plus, let me know. Because you don't get any answers. It's just so silent as to why, other than Song of the South, there's really no explanation why any film from the 50s through the 70s is not there.
It doesn't make sense. No Mobile's not on there.
Yeah, I don't understand. There must be a reason why. So, anyways, that's gonna do it for the Moon Spinners. Any final thoughts, Jared?
I just have to make sure everybody knows I love the Moon Spinners,
Okay.
even though it's my fifth out of six.
Yeah. No worries. It's fine. And for me, I love it because it's a different side of Haley Mills. You still get a little bit of the goofy Haley Mills. She's so quirky and just kind of like aloof when it comes to romance in this film. It's so like her in her autobiography, how she talks about relationships in there. It's just like she's playing herself in this film. It's fun. I love it.
I do too. The her being tipsy scene just cracked me up.
Yeah.
It has a good mix.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in and listen to us go on and on for an hour, 40 minutes. Next, we'll be back in 2 weeks, I think, because we were doing these every couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully I can do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and if not, we'll do it in 3. But go ahead and pick the next movie, Jared. If you have an idea, if you kind of know what it is, go ahead and shout it out. Everybody can get ready and watch it.
I don't know yet. I would like to do maybe an Annette movie.
Okay, great.
I don't think we've done an Annette film.
No. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'll look to see all of hers and then try to pick something.
She didn't do too many theatrical. Well, a few. Yeah, there's a few out there. Babes in Toyland, Monkey's Uncle, Misadventures of Merlin Jones, but
which incidentally.
Hey.
Yeah.
They call him Merlin Jones, a scrambled egghead. There we go. Great song, great movie.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining in. I'll archive this episode, and you can watch from the beginning if you joined late or if you just missed it altogether.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah. It's so much fun, and it's fun reading all your comments and sharing your love of these great films. May they never die.
May they never die. Well, they're not going to die. If they die, it's not because of us.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And all of you. So,
all right.
Thank you. It was good catching up.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Ryan.
You too, Jared. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.